Så där så träffar vi fulltilt-proffset Chris Ferguson, även kallad Jesus, som jag hade förmånen att träffa på Cypern. Hi Chris, I just said that you are called Jesus in Swedish and that we met in Cyprus. How are you doing?
Oh, doing great here. Made it through the day. I'm actually a little bit short-stacked. Only have 146,000. I had 300 earlier in the day, but that's okay.
If you would sum up so far this year's EPT in London, how would you put it?
I think this is a great tournament. I'm having a blast here, and the tournament's really well run. It's in the old days, European tournaments, they've learned how to. European tournaments are really just as good as the U.S. tournaments nowadays. In the old days, they kind of reinvented the wheel, and so a lot of places we got it wrong. But now these tournaments are really well run. This is a great event.
How's your game working?
The game's working well. It stalled a little bit. The last level or two, I stalled a little bit. Lost half my chips. But I'm still in pretty good position. We're just about to get into the money, so it's bubble time, pressure time now.
You've been in London for over a week now, doing some promotion and stuff. What's your opinions about London?
I really enjoy London. I think London's just an amazing city. You get people in London from all over the world. It's literally the melting pot of the world. You're walking down the street, you're hearing people speak like 5 different languages as you walk down the street. It's really amazing. I love this multicultural city.
I've asked all your colleagues in Team Full Tilt the same question. If you would rate your year, 2009, as a poker year for Mr. Chris Ferguson, how would you rate it so far?
Not very high. Yeah, 2 or something like that, 2 or 3. I did have some decent catches, maybe 4, but not below average year.
I must ask you, you won a bracelet in the World Series of Poker 2000. It's a couple of years ago now. How do you motivate yourself to keep playing, enter new tournaments all over again?
Well, yeah, it is tough to keep motivating, but I still really enjoy the game, and that's really what keeps me motivated.
Well, if you would give us a little your feeling about the temperature, the poker temperature in the world globally now, how would you put that?
I think it's still rising. The interesting thing is, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, when poker just started to take off, people were saying, "Oh, this is a bubble." Right? When's the bubble going to burst? When's the bubble going to burst? Well, it's 7 years later or 6 years later, and it still hasn't burst. Poker is still growing, and the thing is, it's growing all over the world. Initially, it grew in the U.S., and now it's caught on in Europe, and it's growing like crazy in Europe. Maybe it's going to cap out in Europe soon because it's just so popular. And, well, we got the rest of the world to take over. We got South America, Africa, Asia. Australia's doing well too.
Last question. Final 9 is coming up, the final table of the World Series of Poker this year. You have one of your colleagues, Mr. Phil Ivey, on the table, and a few other ones as well from Team Full Tilt. Do you have a favorite picked out?
Well, I got to go with Phil Ivey. He's a good friend of mine, and he's an amazing poker player. He doesn't have a lot of chips, but he's magic.
Are you involved in the betting, the prop betting?
I'm not involved in any of that. I'd never bet against Phil Ivey. I think that'd be a big mistake.
Sounds sane. Thank you very much for the interview, Chris, and looking forward to following you for the rest of this tournament.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that.